Well, hello and welcome back to the 18th of December. Let's see what we're going to get today. Okay, so let me just pan you down. So today we're just getting a chunk of meat. We're not making anything. It's a really boring video. I'm joking, obviously. I put the chunk of meat in there because I have misplaced the instruction manual for this specific make. But we did unbox it on a previous video, so I'm not going to be worrying too much about that. And I'm going to be ignoring the instructions anyway. Because honestly, I have a lot of notes. So I'm just going to be doing my own thing. I already know what I'm going to be doing, so it's fine. So it is the roast beef. Now my first note is that this to me does not look like beef. It looks more like a pork. Beef either is like really juicy and red or it goes brown. It doesn't do this, whereas pork does do this. So to me that looks like a roast pork. So let's get this capsule open. I'm wearing a glove. I haven't hurt myself or anything, don't worry, but I am wearing a glove to stop the chance of me hurting myself with resin, because it seems to always go on my right hand. So I figured we'll go halfway. We'll go halfway. As you saw if you watched the unboxing, if you didn't watch the unboxing, please do feel free to go back and watch that now. We've got this beautiful table, so I'll put that with its capsule over there. And obviously when we got this, it was wrapped in plastic and all of the slices of meat were in it, which is cool. So, am I even going to use the platter? Yeah, I will use the platter. I will use the platter. So, first thing I'm going to do is remove this rope from around the beef, or pork in my case. So just remove that. You could obviously leave it on there if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do so. I'm not going to be using this in this make, because as adorable as it is, I'm also not going to be using the pesto sauce that we got, because I just don't, I'm very allergic to pesto, and I just don't like the idea of green sauce. So, but these two things to me look very Grinchy. So I'm going to put them to one side and I'm going to use them with my Grinch cups to make like a little diorama type thing at some point. So this is going to be going on the plate like that. Now these, apparently they just twist off. So let's see if that works, or if I'm going to have to cut them. Oh no, it's going. There you go, they do twist off. How cute. Okay, so I'm just going to twist all of these off of the stem and pop them on there, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so I twisted all of them off of the stem, and I also grabbed a little resin mixing bowl and some leftover resins that I had that I think will go really well. I'm also going to grab the leftover carrots from the cookies that we did, the milk and cookies we did yesterday. Oops, because I'm going to add them some baby carrots to this make as well. Mix things up a little bit. Should I add any other veg? Nah, with the garlic and everything it'll be fine. So we'll grab our little bowl first of all. I'm going to add to that some leftover honey. I might need my spatula for this. Put you upside down a minute while I grab my trusty spatula. Ding ding. So let's go in there and scoop all that goodness out. Is this seriously empty? It's not just empty, it is basically dry in there. Oh no. Okay. Okay. It's okay. So that one is done. Dealt with. Dead to us. See how much we can get out of this one. Okay, so this is just clear resin, but I'm going to grab in a minute some pie filling and add that to the clear resin, and I'm hoping what it'll do is make it a bit like the honey, because the clear mixed with the pie filling should sort of mix the two together. Let me just grab that pie filling 1 second. Okay, so I'm back with the pie filling. So hopefully this will go better. What is going on with all my resins today? Ah, there you go. See what I mean? It's a bit thicker than I would like it, but it is very honey-like, so I think it's going to work really, really well, especially mixed with the clear, just to give it a bit more transparency. I think that should be enough. Now one more drip. There we go, that definitely is going to be enough. So pop that to one side as well. Okay, let's give that a quick mix before we move on to the next step. So you see what I mean? It's more of a glazy honey colour now than a very thick pie filling kind of thing. It does not matter about bubbles because this is literally going to be a coating resin. So then we're going to pop some of the lemon pepper in there as well. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to give it a bit more dimension. I am going to be putting a lot more of that, not a lot of, but a lot more of that in once we've coated the veggies for coating the meat. Sorry, I was just doing that off of camera, wasn't I? So let's give that a good mix. There we go. So now we're just going to add some of our baby carrots. I might as well just add them all of our baby carrots to that. Like that. Just take everything off of here. I've been going forwards and backwards with myself, umming and ahhing. Should I do this directly onto the tray? And I decided yes, I'm going to. So we're just going to pop these carrots right onto the tray in a little pile there. Just double check the spacing of that. Yeah, that'll be fine. Because you still got to get the garlic and the Brussels sprouts onto this plate. So I wanted an extra colour. I didn't just want it to be green, brown and pink, but I also didn't want to take up too much of the room on the platter. Because we've still got other things to put on there as well. Perfect, I think. Okay, so that's that. So then we're just going to chuck the Brussels sprouts into that mixture as well. Oops. There's not a lot of this left, so I am going to have to make another batch up for the meat, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. So just give them a quick coat, like this. If you haven't had honeyed Brussels sprouts, do yourself a favour this year. You know, we're on the 18th. You've still got 7 days if you celebrate Christmas. Less days if you celebrate something else, but you know, you still got some time. Do yourself a favour, honestly. You will not regret it. So let's pop those onto that side. Like that. Whee. Put an extra couple down in the front here. And then the rest in the back there. Okay, check how that's going to look. Poke it down a bit with my glove. Okay. Now I might give that a cure now and then do the next step, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've given that a cure and I've also added one of the slices of beef on there like that. So now we're going to grab our bowl again and we're going to get some more of the pie filling. We're going to put a nice healthy amount in there. I'm not going to water this one down. This is just going to be what it is. And this is going to be the glaze for the ham. What's everyone having for dinner this year? I personally do not like roast turkey. I find it to be quite dry. And it's just my husband and I for Christmas Day this year. I've got a really nice Boxing Day brisket ready for Boxing Day when we have my son. But for Christmas Day itself, as it's just going to be the two of us, I am doing a full duck. Complete duck. Yeah, I'm gonna do like a cranberry sauce with it and stuff. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. People normally think of duck being orange. They don't normally consider cranberry as turkey, but the sweetness and the tartness, the tartness of the cranberry mixed with the sweetness of the sauce that you make it into, like with cranberry sauce, it does end up quite sweet. Really, really complements the flavours in the duck. So yeah, that's me. So I'm just going to take some of this sauce I've just made and just drizzle it across the beef, sorry, the pork, and onto the actual joint itself. It doesn't have to be overly precise, but I just wanted it to look nice and flavourful. So I'm just kind of running that across there like that. I'm going to make sure that some of it goes over that edge as well, just to make sure that that's glued down to the platter. There we go. Make sure that we've got a connection between those two, like that. And then, there we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to do a bit more on the join where the slice meets the joint itself. And then move on to the last stage. Sorry about this, I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can so it's not boring for you all. And apologies, my little lady would not get out of bed this morning. She decided she was staying in bed no matter what. So I left her in bed. And now that I'm down here and I've started a video and she can hear my voice, she is kicking off. So I will go and get her in a minute, don't worry. She's perfectly fine. She's just telling me off for leaving her in bed when she asked me to. But she'll be completely fine. So I was going to do it just like a drip and make it look like it's been drizzled on, but I think it looks better sort of having been marinated in that. So I'm just going to turn it around just to see if there's anything I need to do on the back. No, you can't see the back of the meat because of the vegetables. Wait, so that's fine. See what I mean? My fingers are now, well, not my fingers. My fingers now would be covered in resin, but now it's the glove that's covered and not me. So that's why I did this. Okay, so you'll notice I have left a gap there. And that's where I'm going to put my garlic. So just pop that to one side. Open the garlic packet. I don't recall if, no, I didn't open it on the previous video. Interesting. So I have now opened the garlic. So we're only going to use one of these because they are honestly so cute. I would love to retain one for a future project. And you only get two. Hi Brocky, it's okay, she's fine. Oh, he might kick off in a minute. I do apologise if he does. I will try my absolute hardest not to let that happen. But there we are. So this is our tiny garlic. Very, very cute. Very nicely detailed. Love that a lot. Even the stem, look at that. And these pieces do come out as well. So you can, if you want, take little tiny chunks of garlic out. So I might pop one on top of the carrots there. Just realised my mistake, that's cured. So just dip that into there. And then pop that onto the carrots. I want it to be obvious that it's garlic, but I'm not sure if it's going to be obvious. Honey garlic carrots. Grab a second piece, do the same thing. Just realised that was getting dangerously close to slipping off of this platter, which we do not want. I'll pop another piece of garlic there. Facing outwards, and then we're going to tidy all of that up, give it a cure. Yeah, so that was good. I don't want to debulb all of the all of the garlic channels, because I want to sort of leave the rest of the bulb on the side there, the rest of the head on the side there. So let me just grab my torch and give that a quick cure before anything else goes wrong. Just see if I can add a bit more. I just want the lemon really, because there's quite a lot of pepper on here. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of lemon. I'm really hoping there you go. My light was at the stage where it had started curing because I'd had it on there for a nanosecond, but it hadn't cured enough to be problematic at this stage. It's still a bit sticky, which is what we wanted. So obviously I'm not going crazy with this. I just want to have a little bit more dimension to the colours, because I hadn't realised quite how much of a weird ratio between the pepper and the lemon had been achieved by simply you know, shaking it over the top. I wonder as well, thinking about it, because of the colour of the resin, if those lemon pieces were getting lost in there. But it's fine, because I'm just going to add them manually now anyway. And as I say, I'm not going to go mad on it, but I just want a little bit of extra contrast. Okay. Okay. Just trying to grab the little lemon pieces. It's a tricky one. I think that's fine. I quite like that as it is, so let's give that a cure properly now. Now the leftover slice of meat there I'm going to be using for something in the future. I might use them as ham and do like a green eggs and ham kind of thing. So maybe not do necessarily a Grinch diorama, but do like a Dr. Seuss maybe. How does everybody feel about that? I think that would be quite cute personally. Let's get rid of this pepper over here. Sat there with a handful of fake pepper. So let's put that to one side. Grab our little garlic and just pop that to the side like that. And then I think we're done. What does everybody think? I'm really pleased with it, actually. I think it looks really good. I think it looks a lot better than what they wanted us to make with it, personally. But yeah, I really enjoy it. And, you know, on the camera, it does look kind of brown. So on the camera, that could easily pass for beef. But in person, it's very, very pale pink. So, you know, beef, pork, whatever you want, whatever you think. I quite like it either way. And I like both meats, so I'm not bothered. So that is, oh, let's just put our little, got to put our serving accoutrement on there, haven't we? So we'll put the, no, if that was attached, that would have worked perfectly. Yeah, so you got your meat fork and you got your knife. There you go. So yeah, there is a roast dinner all done. I really enjoyed doing this one. I found it fun to do a remix from scratch again, and I really hope to see you guys in the next one. I always love having company when I make these. It's all about companionship and the joy of making for me. So please join me on the next one, and until then, take care of yourselves, and yeah, have a great day. Bye.